It's episode 3 of the Obi One Podcast, made possible by Bet Winner. We've made it, John. We've made it to the 3rd week. You're still best mates with John Terry and Frank Lampard. All is well in the world.
All is well. All is well. I mean, yeah, it's been amazing. First episode with JT and second episode with obviously Super Frank. It's all well in the hood. So yeah, let's say all is good at the minute.
You're still on the Christmas card list.
Yeah, I'm still on the Christmas card list.
We're both JT and Frank. I was going to say we're about to disappoint Chelsea fans, but we're not, because this is a world exclusive. Our guest for episode 3. I am particularly excited about this man because he's a bit of an enigma. I feel he doesn't do much in the way of interviews.
No.
It's a compatriot of yours. Who is it?
Honored to say, we're having one of my fellow Nigerian African, top hottest striker at this point.
No doubt. Victor Osimhen.
Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen. I've got to get this right before Victor joins us. Victor Osimhen.
You say Osimhen. It's Osimhen.
Osimhen.
Victor Osimhen.
Okay, so there's no M at the end.
No. Victor Osimhen.
Yeah. I'll let you say that. I'll just call him Victor.
Let's call him Victor.
Of this pod. I'm excited though, John. You've called him the hottest striker on the market right now. Erling Haaland banging them in for fun at Man City. He ain't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
Harry Kane has just landed in Germany. Can't stop scoring. I think he's got 3 hat-tricks already in the Bundesliga. Victor Osimhen is a player who is contracted at Napoli until 2025. Not to be disrespectful to that football club, but his future will surely lie elsewhere sooner rather than later.
Definitely. I mean, I think you've just said it all. I think obviously when you look at, Erling Haaland, the season he's had, and obviously coming second in the Ballon d'Or, obviously, okay, he is the number one, let's say the number one striker. But then Victor's not far off.
No, not at all.
He's not far off, not at all. He's had an amazing season as well. So Harry Kane as well. But when you look at the age difference, Harry Kane is 31, 32 now.
31 next birthday.
So exactly. So, but Victor's still young. He's a prospect that's, is coming up. Still a lot to improve on. Give him a few years, he's going to be top. But like you've just said, I think his future lies elsewhere. I think next season, not in January, but I think in the summer. I think he has to move on. If he wants to improve, if he wants to be in the top league, he has to move on. It's time. He's paid his due for the Napoli.
I agree.
For Napoli, and it's time. I think he needs to move on and achieve greater things. And he can't. He will only do that if he comes to the Premier League.
Who do you see him similar to, John? A lot of people might dip in and out of Italian football. I see him a little bit like a Didier. I see attributes of the great Didier Drogba, your former teammate. Yeah. I see a little bit in terms of the stature of an Emmanuel Adebayor, another great African striker. What is he? What? Who's the nearest player he's like?
I think
more Didier than Emmanuel.
I think I will go more Didier. I know Adebayor. I didn't play obviously with him, but I do know Adebayor. But knowing Didier as well as I know Didier, and spending a little bit of time with Victor, I'll say definitely he's come close to Didier. He's got the arrogance. He's got the personality. He walks. When he comes into the room, his personality is
stature.
You can feel someone is walking into the dressing room, and that's what Didier had, with us. Every time he walked, even if Didier just walked into the dressing room, you will know Didier's walked into the dressing room. The way he's dressed, the way he walks in, with his shoulder held high, Didier just had it all. And looking at Victor, I think the similarities are there. I think he needs more time he needs to be polished. That's what I think. He needs to be polished. I think last season he's got that. This season as well, you can see he's coming into top striker level kind of. Give him another 2-3 years. I think for me, he'll be the best striker, competing with Erling Haaland.
Did you play with him in Nigeria a couple of games?
I did play with him a few times because obviously when I was leaving, he was coming in. So I didn't have the opportunity to play with him longer. But I wish I had the opportunity to play with him longer, because I think I would have had so many assists. Definitely.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have had so many assists, because obviously I play as a number 10 in the national team. And when you do watch the Nigerian national team, when I was playing, I was a creative guy. I was everything ran through me. And I thought if I was playing with Victor, I think I would have had a lot of assists, really. And I think most of my assists would have been goals.
Yeah.
And so my assist stat would have gone up high.
African Cup of Nations, start of next year, John. Obviously a tournament that you've won. You have to go back to 2013 for when you did that. Victor is paramount, integral. He needs to be fit. If Nigeria have got any chance, do they have a chance?
We do have a chance.
You do?
Of course we do have a chance. We always favorite when it comes to this tournament. Always favorite. I've said it a few times now. We always favorite when it comes to this tournament. We might not play well during the qualifying series, but once the tournament starts, we are one of the favorites. We know how to win this tournament. We've won it, I think, three or four times. So we know how to win it. And I think this is something that this young team should take with them going into the tournament. I think when you look at this team right now, we have the best strike force ever.
Victor and
Awoniyi. I watched him today against, I don't know what was the score. I think it was 1-0 when I was leaving against Liverpool. They were winning. Nottingham Forest were winning 1-0.
Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. They won 2-0.
Nottingham, 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, sorry. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0, yeah. And he was fantastic. He was brilliant.
And him and Victor,
he
as
was
a partnership.
Brilliant. Yeah, exactly. So but I think one of them will have to start. So I think one of them will have to start. I don't know. Obviously, Victor starts.
Victor starts.
And then Awoniyi comes in after that. But I think Awoniyi has been absolutely brilliant.
He's been brilliant.
He has been brilliant
for Forest. I'm a huge fan of him. Victor is the one, though. When I look to him, I think to myself, he is good enough to carry this Nigeria team to African Cup of Nations success. The $1 million question, and we've spoken briefly about Victor in the last few weeks on this podcast, John. Obviously, you bleeding blue that you do, you look at Chelsea and think there is a Victor Osimhen kind of hole in that team. Of course there is. They would absolutely be a great club for that.
We're crying out for him.
You're crying. You're right.
We're crying out for him. We're crying out for him. We're crying out for him, mate. I mean, when you look at our team, Chelsea team, obviously we're not playing that great at the minute. But then we lack goals. We lack a striker who can run into spaces, who can create. Yeah. I was watching David Nunes today against Liverpool, and in the first half he had about 11 to 12 shots
against Luton.
Yes, and all the runs he had he created those chances by himself because he was running behind. Yeah. And that's something Victor will give us at Chelsea. He will give us that opportunity of a striker who's really willing to run behind. And obviously those passes will come through and he will get goals. So I think we're crying out for goals. If he comes to Chelsea, I think it will suit him really well because we don't have anyone doing that right now. So there's not going to be too much pressure on him coming into the club because obviously we need that. We're crying out for that. So, my advice for him is to come to Chelsea.
Chelsea need to finish top four, though. You would think, I'm sure, and we're going to be speaking to him momentarily, he's an ambitious boy, probably wants to compete for the biggest trophies there is in world football. One of those is the UEFA Champions League, so that might count against Chelsea. Honestly, taking that Chelsea hat off for a second, John, when you look at the clubs, Real Madrid might be in the market for a number 9. PSG, if Kylian Mbappe was to leave, might be in the market for a new forward. Yeah. Man United are always in the market for someone. Just give me someone half decent, for goodness sake. Chelsea, who in your opinion, John, is a club that's tailor-made for Victor Osimhen?
Chelsea.
I can't get you off Chelsea, can I?
Seriously, I'll tell you, I think it's Chelsea.
West London. He would love London.
He will love London. I'll see Victor living his best life, in London.
I'll never see you if he goes there. You'll be back showing him your old haunts.
I'll move back to London. I mean, I'll see Victor, enjoying his best life in London, experiencing what London is about. we all experience it.
Yeah.
London is fantastic, and then when you get to play for Chelsea, it's a different ball game altogether, because you get to enjoy the beauty of Stamford Bridge, the beauty of the fans, the beauty of living in London, which is absolutely amazing, except the weather.
Yeah.
Which we all never. But I think he will enjoy his time at Chelsea. I really do think he will enjoy. He will become, I'll say, by the time he finishes his career at Chelsea, he'll become another legend like DJ Drogba, because he has the attributes, he has the talent, he has the skills to become that guy who gets those goals. But that's what we need right now. We need goals.
Absolutely, you do.
Forget about the whole system and everything. We need a striker who gets us goals. But Victor will give us that. That's what we lack right now. Like we all say, like we all been saying, since the departure of DJ Drogba, we haven't had a striker that's come in and say, listen, I am going to take this mantle. I'm going to take over this mantle that DJ Drogba's left. I'm going to become this guy. We've not had that. And I think Victor Osimhen, I'm saying, if he comes in, give him a couple of years, he will become that guy. Not straight away, but after a couple of years, he needs to be polished. He needs to be ready. And after that, he will start delivering.
Yeah, after the end of this campaign, that will be 4 years he will have had in Naples. He'll be 25 in December. Perfect age. To move to the Premier League. We've got Victor on the podcast, episode 3. The big names just keep on coming. It is the Obi One Podcast, made possible by Bet Winner. We've got Taking the Mikel as well, our midweek edition where John and I get to muse over some of the big talking points. We want you to download, we want you to subscribe, and of course, give us that 5-star rating. That's important as well.
Oh, that's very, very important. We need the 5-star ratings. Again, like you've said, thanks to our sponsors, Bet Winner. Wouldn't be possible for us to be here without them. So we always have to say thanks to Bet Winners, and we hope this partnership continues.
Oh, yes. I want to stay in a job. That's what I want to do, John. Right, Victor Osimhen on the way. Episode 3 of the Obi One Podcast, made possible. Got to say them again. They keep us in jobs by Bet Winner.
Winning has always been my driving force. Growing up, I dreamt of playing for the Nigerian national team. My passion led me there. The support and unity of players and Nigerian fans led us to the final. Together, we won the African Cup of Nations. A moment that will forever be carved in my heart. Join the winning team with Bet Winner.
Here he is.
Oh, there he is. You see, I told you. How far are you there?
I do fine, Sinoma. I do fine.
Wait, you didn't Nigeria? You didn't Lagos?
Yeah, I did Lagos. I can't see the family.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't injured a bit or something like that?
Yeah, they are there. Yeah, I get injured. Hamstring.
Really, hamstring?
Yeah. Now for the last match we play against Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Oh, you mean the international?
Yes. Last month.
Right. Okay, I mean, this is how your club games you got injured. Oh, okay, wow.
No. Not for international duty.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Are they here with Chris? Obviously, they say, listen, they're like, listen, I hope this podcast is going to be done in English.
Yes.
I said, don't worry, it's going to be done in English. It's not going to be done in broken English.
I'm thinking to myself, Victor, I need a translator if this happens. You might need a translator for my thick Scottish accent, so I apologise in advance.
But I think the pidgin English is not so hard to learn.
I will try and learn it for the next time. Perhaps we meet in person. But Victor James Osimhen, it is wonderful to have you as episode 3 of this man's podcast. It is the Obi One Podcast, made possible by Bet Winner. And listen, let's start with you. You're smiling. How are you, my friend? How is life?
Good. We've been surviving. Everything's good. Everything's fine, going good. I thank God, and I just nothing to worry about. I'm blessed, so I just have to thank God.
John and I were talking. John, of course, is a father of two beautiful twin girls. You became a father, I believe, for the first time in October?
Yes, last year.
A lot of sleepless nights?
Yes. No one told me the hardest part. They only told me the beautiful thing. But yeah, of course.
They only told you about the sweet part, not the hardest.
Yes,
not the hardest
yes,
part
the
that you
sweet
don't
part.
sleep
Yes,
at
not the
night.
hardest part.
They didn't tell you
Yeah.
that part.
At all. But now I think I sleep good because now she's 1 year and she sleep more longer. Before I could get up for training, she's already still sleeping. So for me, it's quite easy now.
Has it changed you at all, Victor? You know, I'm a father of two girls, and I think it's changed me for the better. I think I'm a little bit more mature. I feel like an adult now. It's taken 35 years to get there, but I feel like a proper man now, if I can say that. How's it impacted you? How's it changed you?
I think extremely well because it's my first time having a child, and when I got the news, it's an overwhelming, feeling for me. I thought it would take more longer, but God just gave me, because in the midst of this good news, I was having a very big challenges in terms of relating to some people, part of my family members. Is a big there was a big problem as at that time.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
so there was really a big problem as at that time before my girl could broke the news for me about she being pregnant. So I was really ready, and this gave me some sort of ease, going through life's problem with some part of my family members and everything like that. So for me, this child is a special child because when she was coming, I think God gave her some sort of peace to bring to me, because it was kind of like depressing at that time before she broke the news to me that she was pregnant. So for me, when she told me, it was like really a big ease out of my body, in my head, and in my mind. That was one of the reasons why I could be able to, to focus in my season as a last season, and do well, of course, because of I'm expecting a daughter. I need to set some sort of an amazing example as a father and also as a person. And then I needed to witness the birth of my daughter, the process, so she was with me and she's still with me. So I witnessed everything. And this has really changed me a lot on and off the pitch. And when I grind now on the pitch, I grind for my daughter because I really want to set an example for her on and off the pitch. To see the life the father has lived before and what he has become now. So for me to give my daughter some life lesson, I have to become one. I have to become what I want her to learn and everything like that. So for me, it's a whole kind of experience for me.
That's
a new
big,
experience
isn't it?
for me.
Yeah, that's
it's
big.
really,
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
big.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, I remember, you were talking. I read a little bit about the family situation though. When we football players, sometimes because we're in this bubble, right? You know what I mean? And people don't get to see what we go through as players, as humans. Just forget about the football player, as humans. We go through sometimes life lessons whereby we go through difficult times with the family, be it the brothers, sister, parents, whatever it is. We have these difficult times where we go through. I had as well. I went through exactly the same thing. And I remember reading something with you and your brother, whether it was your brother or your sister or your siblings. You came out publicly and said, "Listen, I don't give a fuck, right? What it is what it is, and you guys have to deal with the situation. And whatever I provide is what I provide, or what you've provided before." But these are the things that people don't get to see or listen to unless we come out and speak about it. And I was so happy that you came out and talked about something like that, because I have so many things that I never spoke about. And everybody just thought Mikel is like this beautiful, life is just, no.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because I never talked about it. But credit to you, mate. You came out, you had the balls to come out and talk about it. I mean, what was that like? I mean, what was the situation? I mean, if you don't mind sharing with us a little bit, what
Sure, of course, a pleasure. When I started my footballing career, I'm the last born of a family of 7. I've got 4 sisters and 3 brothers. And then one of my sister, she used to tell me that I should give the husband opportunity if I could get an opportunity for him to like be with me and work closely with me. So I already had this in my head, but at that time, I've got managers, I've got an agent, so there's no way I could take them out to bring him in. So the opportunity arises when my father was ill, when I was in France. I asked them to let me go to Nigeria to see my father. So because he was critically ill, he was in the hospital. I can only speak through with him through the phone. And then they refused me to let him go until he passed on. And then I told them before that if anything happens to this man and they refuse to let me go see him and share final moment with him, I don't think I would work with them. This is what I said to them before the pain came in. And there's at that time he died. I went to Nigeria to let him to rest. And I broke every contract I have with these people. I actually stopped everything that I have with them. I moved on with my life. And in 2020, my current club now was interested in me. And then I was speaking to them as a loan because I had no agent. So I was speaking to them.
Wow.
So I remember that this guy was there and I brought him in so that he could be with the agent that I assigned to do the deal for me. And I was speaking with the agent that we give him some sort of, some money when everything is done, in which the agent agreed. But he persuaded me to sign 3 years with him. And I told him, I don't want an agent with me because I've been backstabbed by these people in my previous managers and agents and left. So I told him, do the deal and let us go our separate way because I don't want this. And then he said, okay. So I brought the guy in and I got him visa. I booked him a flight to come to Italy. I did everything for him. And I never signed anything with him. I gave my power of attorney to the agent that was supposed to broker the deal with my current club. I never signed anything with him. He did everything. We were together. The agent went to make the negotiation. I was with the agent and he was not also there because I already made the negotiation and everything was agreed before I brought him in. And then I went to the pre-season. So I needed him to watch the documents with the agent and everything like that. So that was what I actually assigned him to do. I've been the one taking the responsibility of my family since 2014 when I went to the Under-17 Nations Cup in Nigeria. I was the one taking the responsibility of the family. No one, absolutely no one gets to the stage that I am like this, ever done something for me or they do something on their own. They always call me to come into the picture and I always come through for all of them, actually, including a few of my childhood friends.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know this guy was standing behind my back. I never knew anything at all. So I had, some kind of differences with someone. And this person was like trying to, to reach out to me, to tell me some stuff this guy has been doing behind my back. So I didn't want to listen because I'm not the type of person that listens to what others have to say about someone. I'm not the kind of a guy. So the person was trying to tell me, I'm living with a snake because at that time it was in my house. So like I was living with a snake. This guy is planning a lot behind you and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I never believed until when I had this facial injury in 2021. So
you mean when you started wearing the
when I started wearing the mask?
Batman mask.
the mask, yeah.
Yeah. So
You got a lot of goals
down.
wearing that though, I must say.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So the person came to Italy, to Napoli, uninvited. Came to my house, was trying to see me. As at that time, I've got 2 of my friends with this guy and me. So we were like 4 in the house. So the person called my friend. I was like, I really need to see Victor. I need to speak to Victor. There is something really going on. He needs to be careful. So I didn't know. As at that time, I told my friend, I don't want to speak with this person. Please just let me be. So the person had to call one of my sisters. Of course, I listened to that one a lot because we are really so close.
Yeah.
And they told me, listen, hear what this person wants to say, listen to what he wants to say, and just get on with your life, So I invited this person to my house. And the guy was in my house. So I noticed he was trying to let the person not come in. I didn't know what was really happening because I had no clue as at that time. So and this person came with a friend, and the friend know what was going on. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. So something really happened in the house, and he was trying to compare this person, like was comparing two friends, and they were best of friends. And I was in my room, we're like talking, me and the person were like speaking, and the best friend came in, was crying, and I asked, "Why are you crying?" And he said, "This person said this, person said that." So I went to the living room. I was confronting him. Why are you gonna say this? And he was like, "No, this is what he said. This is what he said." And the person was speaking the language that I really understand, that he doesn't understand. Was talking about something that this guy has been doing behind my back. I didn't know. So I called both of them. I said, "What's the problem?" And he said, "If you don't tell Victor," the best friend said, "If you don't tell Victor, I'm going to tell him. And for sure, I'm going to tell him." And I called them. I drove them out. Wow. And they sent me a series of voice notes, wow. WhatsApp messages, voice note like this. As I'm even talking to you, I'm having some kind of adrenaline in my body because
we're so happy. I mean you dealt with that situation really well, haven't you? Yeah, he dealt with that situation really well.
And listening to you, Victor, it's clear to me then, there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. You've said there that you look after the family, that you didn't really have anyone that you could turn to. Have you always been an independent man, Victor? Have you always been comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you are the main breadwinner, that there's a lot of people who do look to you to provide? Does that come naturally to you?
Even before I came into limelight, I've always been independent. I left home at a very young age. Senior man, I used to call him senior man. You understand the struggles of average Nigerians. You understand?
Yeah.
So I used to go to do some kind of jobs, and then when I went to the national team, the under 17. I took it upon myself to provide for my whole family.
Yeah, what was it? What was it you sold? What was it? Was it pure? Was it water you sold under the bridge?
Yeah, water. Yeah.
He sold water. So when on the bridge in Nigeria, sometimes you have this under the bridge where cars, and then under the bridge is where people sell like bread or water or whatever it is, food. So, Victor's, his story is that, he was one of those kids who sold water under the street, whereby, people drive past and then there's a traffic light where you have to stop. So that's his opportunity to go with the water and sell. So he has to sell as much water that he can at that point because there's a traffic light.
Before it goes green.
Before it goes green and the cars are gone. So, that's, one of his stories.
How old were you then, Victor, selling that water?
What is it? I was at that time, I was close to 14 and 14, 13 as at that time, because I got the struggle from my brother, the firstborn of the family. He struggled a lot to help the family, like really a lot. So I've got this mentality of hustling from him. So most of the time, I remember when I bought my first Christmas clothes on my own, it was through this hustle. I used to sell it more and give the money to my sisters to keep for me. So when it's the law, I used it to get my first, like independently, I got my first Christmas clothes by myself. Wow. But yeah, the pressure is high. When you come from a large family and you have to do things for each of them equally. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. You have to do something.
I understand. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do things for them equally. And sometimes you have to do things for them in a private kind of way. Do you understand? Because you don't want to cause some sort of commotions in this type of thing. So this is one of the things that I've really learned in keeping the family more like united, except the one that went astray. With a husband trying to blackmail me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's been good. God has been really helpful in this kind of situation and many more. But of course, I give God the glory.
Well, listen, off the pitch, you've clearly had your challenges. To John's point, Victor, you are a human being. You have challenges like us all. On the football field, though, you've had an incredible 18 months, Victor, and we should congratulate you because you were telling me, John,
of course,
history made in the last week or so.
I'm jealous.
You are jealous.
I'm jealous.
8th place.
He achieved something that I never achieved. You know, I thought, well, I am still. He needs to break my fucking record first. I am still the most
Decorated,
successful, decorated football player in Nigeria.
Yes.
But you know, I think you know he's obviously he got an award that I never got. Number 8 in the world.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. I must say congratulations. I mean, the season you had, it was fantastic. And I never got to that stage. And this is a different stage. You've raised the level, you've raised the bar so high, and I must say congratulations. And I mean, how do you feel coming number 8 in the world? So it was Lionel Messi, Haaland,
Kylian Mbappe.
And
then there was a few others.
There's few others. And you, me, JJ, Kanu, never got to that stage. You got to that stage. Congratulations. How do you feel about that?
Thank you. First of all, I have to tell you something, Chris. You know, the man sitting next to you has been a big inspiration for a lot of Nigerians, you know, aspiring football players.
Thank you.
He's been a household name. You know, I have to give him his flowers. He's been an amazing legend for us, an amazing example on and off the pitch. Do you understand? His life, his character. You know, I'm not just saying this because I'm on live with you guys and he's here. I used to say this, and every aspiring footballers can say the same thing about the man sitting next to you. Do you understand? And
thank you.
Being number 8, for me, I don't think I will get to your stage, the things you've done for football, for us, on and off the pitch, the way you inspire a lot of us is an amazing feat for us. And thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have to appreciate you from the depth of my heart. We saw what you did. We try to emulate you. You're more than a legend for us. You understand? Coming to the Ballon d'Or, I think for me, I just kept on doing my job, just doing what I love to do so much. And then because I'm big on God, I'm sorry if I call God every time here on this live.
It's very religious,
and God
isn't it?
and God just crowned my effort. But for me, it's really a huge one. You know, considering where I come from, considering the struggles that I've been through and everything I went through, I think for me, it's, to be number 8 among the best football players right now in the world, it's a unique milestone for me, for my family, for the ones that believed in me, and for the ones that also doubted me. It's an eye opener for them, not to talk down on any player that is going through so much. Just like the legend said, you don't know what football players are going through. You don't know. You just say the lifestyle outside. But a lot of them are fighting, sorry to use the word depression, a lot of them are fighting internal battles that no one know about. You understand? So for me to come out on top, to be the highest goal scorer in Syria, in a league where people wrote me off when I first signed there, you know, when I had some serious problem with COVID, with injuries and all, to come out in this type of season, winning the Scudetto in 33 years. And for me, it's a huge one. It's a big one. Even if I don't get a trophy, I think for me, this stays in my heart forever because to be able to come out from the kind of difficulty that I went through and put myself in World Football Map with the help of a lot of people, a lot of coaches that I've played under, for me, it's really a huge achievement for me. And this we continue to live with me. And also this is a motivation also for me to stay in that level. And this comes in with the kind of career the King has, you understand? He's been there and he's still there until he hung his boots. So for me, this is the kind of level I want to be. You know, it's easy to arrive there. It's hard for you to stay there. So this is the kind of mentality I want to have. Just like what he has done, you know, is a huge motivation for a lot of us. So this is what I want to do, and this is my target, to be there I'm there now, so I want to keep building on this momentum and stay there forever until I retire.
Victor, John tells me that you're a very confident young man. You're confident in your own ability. You know, you've said there you're humbled to finish 8th in this year's Ballon d'Or. Do you feel one day you have the capabilities of winning the Ballon d'Or? Is that part of your future plans?
Everything I've achieved, the reason why I play the football is to get my family out of abject poverty. You know, the whole family is okay. Whatsoever I win now is more like a bonus for me. Do you understand? I fight so that my family can get out of poverty. God has blessed me. I've done that already. Now, the big man here has won the Champions League. I want to win one. He's the most decorated player decorated player in Africa. I want to be there. Now I have done the first part. Now is the second part in getting some trophies. I've won the Scudetto. Now I'm addicted to trophies. So I want to keep on to build on this momentum and try to win as much as I can. Hopefully I could surpass him or get to almost his level, but I will see about that. So, but for me, it's really a huge one for me. And just like I said, I don't know if senior, I'm calling it senior man because when people are like you're not in the same level with some certain kind of people in Nigeria, you call them senior man. Understand? It shows some sort of respect.
Some sort of respect, yeah. Thank you.
I think for me in 2019, I was able to share the same pitch.
Yeah.
With a legend that I have watched while growing up.
Yeah, was it 2019? I think it was 2019. No, when I stopped.
In Egypt.
I think that was when you were just coming through the national team, right? I thought,
yes.
Because I looked at you then I was like, Victor Osimhen, you know, this guy, I mean, everyone is waxing a lot of relics. Everyone is talking so good about it. And then I was sitting down and I saw this tall, lanky guy walking towards me. And I was like, who's this guy? And Victor, obviously I've been hearing about you, but that's the Victor Osimhen. And I thought, okay. And then you came, you know, respectfully, humble and very nice. I remember, you know, sitting down with you, having a chat, and you know,
and Chukwueze.
Yeah. We were talking, we were laughing, and I didn't know that, you know, that you were gonna go on to achieve what you've achieved in the space of a couple of years. You had this amazing year with your club Napoli, and I'm sure the fans there, they adore you so much. And I'm sure right now you've moved past what has happened, you know, in the past couple of months. You forgot about it. The club has forgot about it. You know, you feel at home back again. You're enjoying your football. You're scoring goals. You're doing what you love to do. But I mean, it's one of those things that happens, you know, in a football club. And, you know, if it happens, it happens. And then we just forget about it because that's your club, that's your second family, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course, it's sort of like disappointing, you know. But we've talked about it internally with the people in charge, and I poured my anger and my frustration to those that needed to do it. I keep it moving. I keep it locked in.
Yeah,
I'm focused on doing my job, and then just doing my thing. Of course, we started with a new manager.
Yeah.
It's been going well. You know, he's a new manager. He has to bring his own how he wants us to play. The team is going good. I can't wait to come back to join them. Also, they've been doing quite well. Can't wait to come back to join them. I'm just focused on doing my job, and we'll see what the future holds.
I cannot not ask you, Victor, about last season. 31 goals in 39 games in all competition. For me, and I mean this sincerely, Victor, I thought Napoli were the best team. I know Manchester City won the treble last season. I watched you guys steamroll Liverpool in Naples. I watch you guys hand beating after beating after beating, playing some of the most beautiful football that I've seen over the last few seasons. Let's take you back to last season. How was it for you personally? Scoring goals for fun, enjoying your football, a vibrant side, Luciano Spalletti as your manager. Give us your kind of overview of what was an incredible campaign.
I remember before the season start, we were at the preseason, and then there was some couple of amazing football players, leaders in the team that left. Osimhen, Mertens, Koulibaly, Gulam, some sort of great leaders in the team.
Yeah.
So we were at the preseason, and then I was speaking with my teammate Angisa. So we're talking about the new replacement. As at that time, they haven't signed any player. So we're talking about the guys that left and the new season coming up, how we have to deal with some kind of setbacks and everything like that. And then the coach came and was like asking us what we're talking about. So I was telling him that I was talking about the team, the new season and everything like that, if they're going to buy new players. And because here, of course, some couple of players are coming in. And then if you guys believe just like as I believe also, I think you guys can do something amazing this season. It was like it was just a simple talk, but it carried a lot of weight. You know, I was motivated, you understand? And then when these players come, the solidarity in the team in last season was really amazing. The love and everything like that was so amazing. And then when we started, we went like 10 straight games without losing, without having a draw. We were winning and everything like that. Some couple of setback also, and then we had the biggest game in the Champions League against a big team like Liverpool, who everyone was really up and spirited to do so well in the game. And then of course we smashed them in Naples. Of course they were also a very big team, but I think the motivation in which we took into the game was really high. We're having some sort of an amazing run of wins and everything like that, and we got a lot of big wins away from home, like AC Milan, like Atalanta, a lot of them. We lost only away game, big team against Inter Milan, and we bounced back again. We started winning and all like that. So when it got to us having 11 points against the second place, we knew we was the right candidate to win the Scudetto. But of course, I think we went 2 games with we didn't win 2 games, and then we came back to draw some couple of games, went down to 8 points or 7 points. There were a little bit of panic, and then we get it started again. We started winning games and everything like that. But I tell you this, the highlight of our season, last season, winning the Scudetto was Spalletti. You know, he was in control of the dressing room.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? Yeah, he was instrumental.
It was so good. It was instrumental. It was so good. And then is the type of coach who demands 100%. If a player that he knows that can give 100% and you're giving 90 or 95, he's very furious. Even in training, he screams at everyone. Everyone in training will fight like it's a rugby match. It's like a do or die. So he's like the architect of the last season performance we had. Like everyone brought out their A games. You could see last season if I go out and the second player comes in, he get the job done. The player from the bench, everyone is ready. Yeah. So it was a beautiful moment. And I used to say no one deserved the Scudetto more than the Napolitans, because the love was overwhelming.
Victor, I've read that Luciano would stay at the training ground. He was so dedicated, so focused, and I think I've read that Jose did this at Chelsea as well.
Yeah. Jose did the same. Jose used to come in quite early. You know, he used to come in very early in the morning, and he used to stay there because he needs to obviously
do his work.
Yeah, do his work, because when you have, you know, about 20, 24, 23 players who are superstars, you know, in their own right, everybody's international player, you have to find a way to keep this place happy. You have to find a way to make sure that everybody's happy. And that's something that Jose did he did relatively well, you know, by keeping everybody happy. But at the end of the day, it's only 11 players that starts the game.
That's it.
So for Jose, he has to come in early, get the job done early, go onto the training pitch. And on the training pitch is where on a Friday you make your decision who's playing, and you have to call out those players who's playing. But then you have about 6-7 players who are very unhappy, international players, world-class players who are unhappy. How do you keep them happy? And that's something that Jose had to do come in quite early to make sure he has that done and ahead of training and to keep everybody happy. Yeah.
And did Luciano, is it true, Victor? Did Luciano stay in the training ground? Would he be so dedicated?
Yeah. I think he lived there in his office for close to like 7 months.
What?
He was staying put.
He was living there.
Living there, John.
No way.
Living there.
Yeah. He was living there. He has the office is quite big, so he has the bed, the TV. He has everything in there.
I know Jose stayed couple of nights, but not for 7 months.
He stayed there. He stayed there for so long. Yeah, he stayed there.
What about his wife and kids? Is he like?
I think that I don't know about the personal life, but I don't think they stay in Naples. I don't think they stay in Naples.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a big farm. I think he's got a big farm in the north, in Tuscany. I think he's got his big farm. He was so dedicated. 33 years, John. Napoli waited to win the Scudetto. 7 months staying on the training ground to ensure that Victor and the rest of the boys got the job done. Was he a total maverick, Victor? I've heard stories about Luciano. I've never met him personally, but I've heard that he's a bit of a maverick. Would that sum him up perfectly?
Yeah. You know, this type of coach. When it comes and on the pitch, he used to come last because I think he makes some tactical work first in his office, and then the players already warm up and just playing some rondo and everything. The post is set by his staff, and then they give the beeps to the players. Some with the beep, some without the beep. Maybe 10-10 or 11-11. He just come with the ball, and then he kick the ball. And if no player go for the ball, every player has to run the whole pitch like 4 times.
No.
Like, he said, he does this every time. He said, you have to be ready. When you see the 2 posts and you saw the goalkeeper that put there and you're playing the rondo, when I kick the ball, you always go. He does that. Since he came to Napoli in 2021, he took over. He has been like this. So I know him. So some of the new players that came, I told them in the preseason, hey guys, when you see the 2 post set like this and we are playing like this, when you see the coach, he kicked the ball, everyone has to run to the ball, because we that work with him during the 2021 season, we know about those things.
Right.
So, and he's more like aggressive. Like when he give instruction 3-4 times and the player are not getting the job done in the training, he get massively aggressive. Like he's so angry. He's really so angry. Like he could kick the ball away, or he could take off the beat. He wants to show this player that you can do what I'm asking you. Just focus and listen. Do you understand? Yeah, sometimes in training we had some differences in training. And after he would call me to his room, he would hold my neck and push me into his office.
I think I saw. I saw a video once that you in training you got a bit upset or something like that. In training and something like that. Yeah, but is that something that happens more in Italy? Because when I look at the managers in Italy, the manager seems to quite aggressive. Is that something that the fans demand from the managers and from the players? Because I was watching a couple of weeks ago, I was watching the Italian league. Juventus, Allegri took off his jersey. Did you see that? Took off his jacket, his suit, threw it on the thing and kicked the board. He was so animated. He was so angry. But it looked like there's something that is...
That's the Italian.
Yeah,
that's the Italian.
That's like the Italian, because the Premier League players... Yes, they do get upset, but you don't see them react that way. Maybe that's like something is that like an Italian kind of, the fans demand that? Or that kind of shows that you care about the club and you care about the players or something. I don't know.
I think, I really don't know much about the other coaches, but with Spalletti, he's just like I said earlier, he's really demanding, and it shows this even in the dressing room and also on the pitch. He could scream at anybody, like, you know, you don't care if you are Victor Osimhen or if you're, I think the oldest player there is Mario Rui. You could scream at everyone because you have to do what he asks you to do. But of course, he knows that mistake is bound to happen in terms of football on the pitch. But I think he's more. We know him. We know what he wants. We know how he's demanding. But of course, we won't do 100% of what he's saying. But he gets like he's really demanding, and he gets aggressive when we don't get the job done. And most of the time, when we get the job done, just like against Liverpool, I could remember against Liverpool, we had the perfect game of the season against Liverpool. We did so well. Boom. The next day in training, everyone, we already put the time. We didn't have a day off.
No.
We didn't have a day off. We had, the next day we had
You're
the
back
training,
on the grind.
and we're back on the grind, and he sent the staff, hey, put on the group. We had there's a video meeting. And we had the meeting, and he came. He shook everyone's hand, like, hello, how you doing? Hope you're good. And then he started, boom, directly to the game. And he started calling names of everyone. We had the perfect game. We won, I think, 4-1 or 4-2, I think.
4-1.
And then he started screaming. No, you don't have to make mistake like this against this type of big team. You have to. Hey, and he's speaking Italian, so the Italian, when you speak the Italian, you like, when you speak about these things, is more aggressive.
Yeah.
So they are like, and just like I said, demanding. He's the kind of coach that I've seen after Gattuso.
Oh yeah, Gennaro. Yeah,
they are so demanding, and he is more composed. You know why I say he's more composed? Because in games like against Liverpool, against Juventus, when we score, he doesn't celebrate. Everyone's going crazy, but he's just composed. Like he stands and he looks, and then he told us to go back to play. I remember when I scored and I took off my shirt. 3 days after I got my daughter and I took off my shirt, he didn't say anything. And then after the game, I went to the dressing room, and he came with me and he shook me on the hand. Hey, when you score, keep calm. Don't take off your shirt. Keep calm. Don't lose it. Just stay calm. Maybe you take a yellow card and you do something again and you take the red card. Keep calm. He told me this. He told me, like, specifically, if it's not that you became a father, you're gonna pay 10,000 euros for what you did. He told me, and he passed the warning to the rest of the team. When you score, jubilate, celebrate, but stay composed. Don't take off your shirt.
Don't take it off.
Don't do things like that. So, just like I said earlier, he's in control. He is in control.
Was he like a father? Was he like a father figure to you, Victor? Did you look up to Luciano like you would look up to a father figure?
We spoke a couple of times. Like outside football. We used to speak a couple of times. I used to text him a lot of time. He respond in like minutes. He respond and he speak with me. We're talking in the training ground after the training. Not just me. You know, the rest of the team can testify to what I'm saying. He's a good listener. Is what I love most about him. Mostly his assistant, Marco, also is a very good listener. He doesn't really speak English, but when you want to speak with him, he listen. And Spalletti, for me, it's one of the best coaches in Italy. I have to be honest. You know, I think for what he has done in a team like Napoli, I think for me, he becomes the best coach in Italy currently as a team.
Yeah, I think to take you guys to that victory, to winning the Italian league. But I think maybe I just need to go back to the Ballon d'Or. I might need to ask a very controversial question. We
love controversial on this podcast, John.
When I look at I don't know if you saw the African countries that voted for the Ballon d'Or. Did you see that most of the African countries I know. Okay, I'm not the one who goes with race or whatever. I think when you deserve it, you deserve it.
Absolutely.
You know, if you are meant, if it's your turn, it's your turn. If you performed well, you deserve it. You should have it. But there is no African country at all that voted for you on the Ballon d'Or. We had Nigeria voted for Lionel Messi. Are you kidding me? I mean, we have you who scored
31.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
And he scored 10. He was the top goal scorer.
Exactly.
In the
10 in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. And, we didn't have Nigeria to vote for you. Do you think that's a worry? Because obviously we're trying to make sure our football and our players get the recognition that they deserve. But, I know obviously Lionel Messi or Haaland should win the Ballon d'Or.
Should win. Yeah.
But I mean, in some way we should have, even if it's
Supported
Nigeria,
your own.
support our own. You know what I mean? Does that kind of what do you think about that?
No, I for real, what you said, I just saw it today.
Yeah.
This morning. Yeah, I just saw it today. One of my friends showed it to me. But I feel like, for me, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. This is what I always believe. You understand? And then for me, no one can deny the effort that I put in last season. No one can try to downplay what I did, the kind of season I did last season. So I feel like everyone is entitled. At the end of the day, I came 8. Even if I came 10 or 11,
8
I
is
think
massive,
I've done so much for my
massive.
I think I've done I think I've done so much for myself to get the recognition I'm having, or the one I will continue to have. So for me, it doesn't really change anything. They can vote for who they like. It's all love. From my own side, I really don't put these things into consideration, because I mainly focus on the people that love me so much wholeheartedly, the ones that support me, the ones that defend me and everything like that, my family, my friends. These are the things that really matters to me, not the ones that try to downplay everything that I've worked for, the season that I had, and then trying to put the credit on another man's to another man. So for me, it's normal. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so it doesn't change anything. I came out 8. I'm proud of myself. The people that look up to me are also very motivating by what I've done. So of course, I think it's a motivation for me too. But I will keep it moving. I really don't care about that.
You are the favourite, Victor. You'll be aware of this. You are the favourite to win the African Footballer of the Year award, which I believe is handed out. And I know that's a sore subject for you, John. It's a very sore subject for you. Yaya Toure, if he's watching this, should he just mail that trophy to you?
Yeah, he needs to mail that trophy for me. What was it, 2013?
2013.
2013. I should have won that. I should have.
Of course you should.
It was my trophy to be won. I won the
African Cup of Nations.
I won the African Cup of Nations. I won the Champions League
the year before
that, and then I won the Europa League the year 2013.
Yeah, you did.
And Yaya only won what?
Nothing.
He didn't win. He didn't win anything.
Nope.
He didn't win anything. And coming into the ceremony, I thought I was winning.
You had your acceptance speech written out, John. You were there, and the winner is, here we go, here's my moment, Mum. Yaya, oh my goodness, Yaya, bloody Toure.
The information was I was gonna win it, though. I was gonna win it, and I was a favorite to win it. My agent said you've won it, and I was told by CAF that I was winning it, and I was told. Yeah, we were told by CAF that I was winning, but. The crazy thing is that it was the first time a player will do a hat trick of winning.
That's right.
Yeah. So they had to give it to Yaya. Because he was from Ivory Coast, and the CAF president then was Issa Hayatou.
Yes, it was
Issa Hayatou. Yeah. I think he was from. Is he from
Ivory Coast?
Answers my question. He was from Ivory Coast. So. First time a player wins it hat trick, And yeah, I mean, I thought I was winning it because I had an amazing year. I had a year before that, I had an amazing year. I had, just like you have, we were winning everything at Chelsea. And I was playing mostly, most of the games. I was a starter.
And you won the African Cup of Nations with Nigeria.
Exactly, won the African Cup of Nations. You know how difficult it is to win the African Cup of Nations with your, with your countries. We did that. So I had an amazing year, and I thought, okay, this was going to be my year. But then, I think I got robbed. That's what I think. Definitely, I got robbed of that award.
Trophy, yeah.
But I hope you now are gonna, it's your turn. Definitely, I think you should win it.
Victor, I'm going to test your knowledge here. Do you know the last Nigerian to win the African Footballer of the Year?
I think it's Kanu Wankwo.
He knows his stuff.
He's looked it up.
1999. He has looked it up as well.
No, I don't have my phone on me. But the thing is that when each time I probably make a record or I set one, when they list it, I always get the list of the Nigerian legends that have done it. So I had it in my head always. It's like this.
And have you got your acceptance speech written yet, like John did?
I think so. I'm writing it down like this. But I think with what he said now, I have to.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You have to be careful.
Thankfully, Yaya Touré's retired. That's the good news. But it would be a great honour. I know you've talked about, listen, you're doing it for yourself. What matters is scoring goals and winning for the collective. But to pick up African Footballer of the Year, Victor, I mean, what an award, what an achievement that would be for you and your family.
It's going to be huge because I remember in 2016, I was the African Youth Player of the Year. So I was there when, I think the same, Yaya Touré won it, or Aubameyang, or I think so, one of these two. So I was there. And for me to be a huge one, I can't lie, it's going to be a huge one where we have the likes of great player like Salah, Hakimi, Mane, Yusuf Enache, and the rest, and Bono, and the rest of them. So for me, it's huge, and I think I've got a huge chance also.
I want to ask about a man that I actually have to get my phone up right now, Victor, because I cannot pronounce this fella's name. So I've written it down phonetically, and I'm hoping I'm saying this correctly, okay? So it's Kvaradona. Is that right? Have I done okay?
It's Vicha.
Just
the
call
first
him
name is Vicha.
How
then
good? How good is he?
The other name is Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yes.
This boy, I'm sure you've seen him.
I think.
No, I haven't really
He's
watched
a Georgian. They're calling him
Kvaradona. The one that has the socks on the.
He's like Jack Grealish.
Yeah, it's Jack Grealish. Oh, yeah,
He's got the socks down.
I haven't really watched him that much though.
This boy looks special. How special is he, Victor?
He's a. I call him in Italy. They say Maggio, that means for magician. He's a player. He's an extraordinary talent. For me, it's when you decide to play, I don't think I can see any defender stopping him. It's really that good. It's really an amazing player. He had amazing season last season. When he came, he just picked it up from where he stopped in Russia, where he was playing, and came into the Serie A and light it up. For a player like that, for me, it's an extraordinary talent. Just like I said, it's I'm looking forward to quantify, to put in words for him. But he's so amazing player, and in the dressing room, he's an amazing guy. Everyone loves him. So for me, it's cool that we complement each other, and he's also a player that I really understood, and he knows what I want, and he knows where I want the ball, and he put it there. I think we share almost. He gave me almost 8 assists, last season. So for me, it's really an amazing player.
Yeah, a boy from Georgia and a boy from Nigeria, and yet you've got this almost telepathic relationship. How does that happen? I've always been amazed at that, where you can't, maybe he knows a little bit of Italian. He's probably learnt that now, but the footballing language is so unique to me because two boys with very different upbringings, and yet in that side, I watched an awful lot of Napoli last season. It was almost like he knew where you were going to run. You knew what he was going to do. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So when he came, I came last to the preseason. He was already there, and then he was training. They were playing the small-sided game. I was working with a fitness manager, and then I was seeing what he was doing, and I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" I said, "Oh, he's one of the new guy. He came this morning and was doing something, scoring goals with his feet." Pa, 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 pa. And then when he's done, he came to the dressing room. So I was alone. I was just taking my stuff off, and I called him. "Hey, bro," I said, "Sit. Where you from?" Like I was interested in getting to know him and trying to integrate him to the team.
Because you need him to give you those assists, don't you?
Exactly.
You're trying to bribe him.
Yeah. So I knew he could do something because I already saw how the ball could be on his feet and the things he could do with the ball. So I was like getting to interact with him, and some players could come into the team and feel timid. Don't try to offend some kind of player that met there and something. So mostly me, I draw him closer and wanting to know him and telling him about the club, sometimes the rules and everything like that. And he speaks English, he speaks good English. So we always talk on the pitch. He would call me and tell me, "Hey, bro, when I get the ball, I need you to go to this way. I need you to go to that way."
Right,
so he was really it was not when the season started. It was really from the preseason. We started to doing things together, the way Messi does with Suarez and the way Neymar does with Suarez and the way they complement each other. So it was really so amazing for me and him to come together and do these things. So it was not, people saw this at the start of the season, they thought maybe it was something we started to learn and training. No, I remember the first game, he scored the first goal for us, he equalized for us. And then I was happy for him and I was like, welcome to the league. And then he came to me and told me in the ear that he need me to score the second goal, that he need me to get my own goal in the game. Wow. I tell you, against Verona, we won 5, I think 5-2. Yeah, he had two assists and 1 goal, and he told me that he needs me to get my own goal in this game. And boom, before the second half, he got the equalizing. I got the lead, so I got the goal. So then we were having amazing season. He was doing so well. We were complimenting each other. Not just for me, for the rest of the team also. So he was doing so many things. Even in training, he would do some kind of things, score some kind of crazy goals that everyone was like, "Oh, bro, bravo, Quara, bravo," this type of thing. So for me, it was really easy for us to complement each other. I think is really good. The chemistry was there. Everything was moving really fine. I was interested in the way he feels as in the club when he came, because I wanted him to feel more good, because of course Naples, the city is full of love. The people show love to every one of the players. So I knew he could get even the same love just like every other players, and then boom, he started becoming an household name there, and everyone, loves him and everything like that.
I've got to ask about Naples. John goes back to London. He can't move down King's Road because the Chelsea fans stop him wherever this man goes. He's a Blues legend. What is Naples like?
Naples, I've been there.
Have you done Naples?
Naples. Oh my God.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I went there. We went there when we got beaten 3-1. I think it was in the Champions League when they had Cavani, Lavazzi.
Cavani,
Champions League. Mate, we got smashed.
And then you smashed them back at the bridge.
We smashed them back in the Stafford Bridge, yeah. But I mean, the hostility at the ground.
San Paulo.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It was crazy.
Really?
We couldn't hear a word that the manager was saying to the players.
In the dressing room?
No, on the pitch.
Because of the noise.
Because of the noise. The whistling, the noise, the screaming. It was so hostile that we couldn't hear anything. All we could hear was the goals going in. Boom, it was a goal. Cavani scored. Lavazzi was scored. It was crazy. But yeah, we left the game just... It was so chaotic. It was so disorganized. We didn't know what was happening. All we could see was the ball going into our net.
One of the craziest atmospheres you've ever.
One of the craziest atmosphere. I've always said Liverpool is one, But Naples at that night, oh my God, it topped it.
Really?
Topped it. It was so
if
crazy.
that's an opposition player, it must make you feel 10 feet tall, Victor, playing in front of that crowd week in, week out.
Yeah, when you come out, it's not when you come out of the tunnel heading to the pitch. It's from your hotel.
Yes.
From the team's hotel. The atmosphere is unbelievable. Mostly in the Champions League game.
Oh.
Against Liverpool, it was hell of a night. Before we could sleep, the police has to come there and the players have to sleep because they were gassed up about this game. They were like pumped up. They needed the game to be like in 30 minutes time. Yeah, like in an hour. So when we arrived at the stadium, they moved the car. Everyone was in front of the balls. They're hitting the balls. They were like cheering us up with the flame up, the blue flame of the whole city, because the stadium is in the middle of the city. So there were like houses that surround the stadium. So the stadium is in the middle.
In the middle,
you see the people, the old people at the balcony. They were still cheering for their team. And like this, as a football player, you see this type of atmosphere.
Yeah.
You just want to go on the pitch immediately. You just want to be on the pitch. Even when we were trailing or when we're leading, they don't stop.
No.
The noise don't stop.
Yeah.
They go so hard and everything like that. And they are so big on Maradona. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They are so big. It's more like a demigod for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
unbelievable. I used to say in every interview when I'm asked about this question that nothing a player could do for them. They can idolize you as a player for what you've done, but they can never be the same for what Maradona has given.
No chance.
It can never be the same.
No chance. He's idolized. He's like a god. He's like a god in Naples. I mean, I remember we went for a walk in the morning, and all you could see paintings on the buildings, the paintings
is the mural,
the paintings of him. I think there's even one where there's this painting, and people go there to like worship, like they go to pray.
Wow.
Yeah.
On his picture.
Victor's gonna have one now.
Yeah, Victor's gonna have one soon.
And Victor,
because when you go for every corner of the city, you see his mural there. You see, there is a famous one that is a window, is a big mural of Maradona. I think when you saw the painting, his long years back. So there is a window, is a famous one where the tourists go there to take a picture there. Everyone, even when Argentina won the World Cup, everyone was there. Thousands of people go there. But guess what? I have not been there all my life since I arrived there.
Really?
You haven't?
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I haven't been there because when you go there, because I want to go there to take picture.
But you can't. Yeah, they're gonna the fans.
Exactly. It's all love. You understand? But I haven't really been there. Most of the time, I haven't been there at all. Not really been there. I haven't been there. I haven't seen it. I only saw it on the internet. Sometimes on Twitter, on Instagram. This is the only place where I see it. But of course, my daughter has been there multiple times.
Oh wow!
She
take
has.
A picture there.
She has. Oh wow!
Yeah, she has,
That's good. That's good.
She has been there. My family came. They went there. My friends came. They went there. But I've not been there.
And Victor, in
really
Naples, when you're walking around, I mean, I have this image, as John's already alluded to. It's a mad city. It's football through and through. You guys are demigods. What is it like for you? Can you walk down the center of Naples?
No. No. It's even in the same. Let's not even talk about, like the main city. When you go to the training ground, you see these people in the sun, in the rain, in cold weather. They're outside. The kids are outside. They move the car. They want to take autograph. They want to take a picture with you. They want to, just familiarize with you.
Yeah.
I think these people naturally come from the city because this is not normal in some kind of, like, I don't want to say some kind of cities where there's a football team there, but this is not normal. In Napoli, they are bent on their football. They are bent. It's a tradition.
It's tradition.
For them,
It's
a tradition for them. The badge for them is more like, is an amazing thing for them. That's why every player get the love. I don't know if you understand.
yeah.
Every player get the love. What I've seen with my eyes, what I've seen, the things that they do to me, in my house, come to my house. Most of the time I go to get something or they deliver some waters for me, some beverages. I don't pay.
Wow.
If I go to eat pizza, I don't pay. You understand?
Wow.
For me,
I wish
I
you
don't
got
know,
that in
but when
London.
you try when you try to pay, they say no, thank you for what you've done, for the city and everything like that. And I could remember last season when we were like 8 points behind the second place. 8 points, they already start decorating the city.
Yeah.
They were painting blue. They were doing a lot of things. There's this famous Vesuvio where they call it Vesuvio. They try to, they build the thing in the middle of the city. It's like a volcano. They build in the middle of the city. They started to celebrate. You see grown man of 50 years old, 55, 60, come in front of your car, accompanied by the granddaughter or the grandson, come to tell you it could mean a lot to us if we win the Scudetto. These things, I don't think I'm the only one hearing these things. I think the rest of the players also could testify. Tell you about the last time they won it. They were like 13 years old. They were like 12 years old. They were, when you listen to these things, and then I remember when we were getting closer and closer and closer, there was a night like that, we received a message from the group, was Spalletti. The message was a long message. He sent it in English, he sent it in Italian. It's a very emotional message. And you could think the guy was born there, but he knew everything about the city. He knew everything about the club and everything like that, and the tradition of the club. So he was highlighting us how it could be when we
finally win it.
Win the Scudetto. Like he said, your name will be forever be remembered, like forever, for years to come. Even when we've gone, your name will be remembered.
Yeah.
Your kids,
I remember that.
will be respected.
Yeah, I remember something like that. I remember when we won the Champions League. Yeah, something like that. I think the night before we won the Champions League, we went to training, and then we went to training on the ground in Munich. And then we came back to the hotel, we had dinner. And obviously what happens at night when a Champions League night, you go to training, come back, and then straight away you go, we normally go dinner. And then after dinner, we go to meeting. And from meeting, we go to bed. So we did that. And then we went to the meeting. And this was the Champions League final, the night before, the biggest game of our lives. So we were sitting there. 5 minutes was sitting. 5 minutes pass. This massive screen. 5 minutes pass, and there was no one waiting. So, we're waiting for the manager, and obviously Roberto Di Matteo, he was nowhere to be found.
Right.
And we were thinking, what's happening here? So we're just waiting, and then all of a sudden, boom, the big screen go off. He walks in, and the big screen go off, and it was a video of every single player, from the mom. The mom, the father, the parents, the siblings, mate, they went everywhere. It doesn't matter where your family were. They went to Nigeria to find my brother. They went to every single places to find every family member, to get a message from them, to say how much that meant to us if we won. It was the most amazing team talk ever. Nobody expected that. They never asked me where my family were, or where my brother is, or they never asked any questions to anybody. They just took that upon themselves, went and looked everywhere around the world and got the videos. So we're just sitting, and your turn comes on, and it's either your wife or your dad or your mom.
Brother.
Tears were running down in that meeting. Tears. I saw my brother, I was like, there is no way I'm not winning this game tomorrow. There is no way I'm not winning this game tomorrow. And I think that's what spurred me, that I had the best game of my life.
It
was my best game of my career, the Champions League final. And for me, that was the best team talk. I went to bed I couldn't wait for the game to come on. And I think that's what spurred us on. Like, you could see grown men crying that their parents, their mom, their dad was just saying emotional words and telling us how much it means if we could be the first team in London and the first team for Chelsea to win the Champions League. It meant so much for us. And we were so happy we went on and we delivered.
And exactly like Victor.
Exactly like Victor.
Napoli did. And that was just a WhatsApp, Victor, that Luciano sent to you late at night to say.
Yes. So he sent it, and just like me and everyone, I've got like a lot of goosebumps because I have not won any trophy in my professional career. The only trophy that I won is with the national team under 17. So for me, I was really like, I want to win this. I don't want to have it in my head that we were 8 points, ahead and we lost the league. So it was motivating for us. And that text message was like more of a turning point again, because in every game that we play, we don't care who we are playing. We play as a team, we defend as a team, we attack as a team. So it was like, if we don't win this game, we're doomed. So every game we pushed on. And most of the time, we don't really watch the video of our opponent. We don't stay too long. Most time, 15, 10 minutes, we saw what we want to do and we go to do tactical outside. But the words that Spalletti will say to us, to each player, I remember what he said against Juventus when we had the away game. If we win that game, automatically, how they put it, statistically, mathematically, we already won it. So we had the game was goalless, not so good first half from us. The game was like imbalanced. So second half he came inside. He didn't scream at anyone. He didn't talk. He told all of us to like stand up. He looked in everyone's eyes, like he come to you, he look into your eyes, he move to the next person, he come.
That must be scary, né?
Everyone, but the doctors, everyone, the team manager who were there, and he stood in the middle. And he said in his life, he has coached almost 1,000 plus games. He hasn't won a trophy. And a lot of you here hasn't won any also. I don't want to be a trophyless one. I'm sure you don't want to be a trophyless, player or something. But you have an opportunity in your hand that you can change your life, not money-wise. You can put yourself in a history book. And when you talk about history book, when you talk about the big clubs, these clubs are like condemned to win trophies in each season, this club, because they are used to it. So Napoli, it's been 33 years. They last won it. But if you win this game, we can go home to Napoli and you're going to see at the airport what I've been telling you guys about. You want to win this game? Everyone's screaming Italian. Yes, we want to win.
I remember that.
Everyone screamed. And then we went on the pitch. We were playing. Just like I said before, on the bench, the whole team was ready. 100% we were so focused. Like nothing was even distracting us. And then comes the guy, Raspadori. He came from the bench. Pam, pam, pam. He hit the goal. In the dying minutes, 1-0 in Turin. You know what it is to play in Turin against Juventus in their own home, a difficult ground to win. With our small fan that came to support us. When the goal came in, boom, he didn't say anything. We celebrated. We celebrated, and then he called the captain to pass the information. We were closer to history. We are closer to history. Give everything you can. And we only direct you from here. You have to play the game. And then the captain came. He spoke to the nearest guy passed it to the nearest guy. Nearest guy passed it to the nearest guy. And then everyone was ready. We were pushing so hard. The final whistle, he went inside. He never spoke to us until we got to the hotel. He never spoke to us. He went inside. He took a shower. It was in the bus already. We were still celebrating with our fans. We were celebrating and everything like that. And then we got inside the bus. He spoke to us and he said, "Congratulations, but it's not over yet. We still have more like 6 games to go. But we already won. When you calculate the points, we already won the league. And they said, yeah, but we still have to finish the job. And then we got to Naples. Exactly what he said to us in the dressing room. I don't think the fans are more than 15,000, if I am not mistaken.
Wow.
The whole airport, the road was shut down.
It was closed
the fans
for
were
you
there.
guys.
They already
Wow.
had the flame up with the banners. You see the little kids, cloth in the neck, the old people coming with their grandson, with the sons, with the daughter. Everyone was screaming. Everyone. I have the video. And when I look at those things, I never believe we are the ones that did such amazing season. It's historical. It's historical because we did it with a city that's so passionate about football. A city that, in terms of trials and tribulations and everything you're going through, that will stuck by you, that will stick with their club. So for me, this is the most thing that gives me chills every time. When I wake up every time, knowing fully well that I won the Scudetto with Napoli.
That's amazing.
It's a huge feeling for me. You could walk around, you could drive around, and everyone stop your car and just to say thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you very much. Some could.
Yeah, me too.
You've got chills, Victor. I've got goosebumps.
This is for me. It's so amazing. It's unbelievable. Even 2 games to the end of the season, 2 games. The training ground was thrown open. Like the fans could come in the training. They could watch us train. The whole training was full. They could watch us train. So we're chilling. And most of the time we go with them. We sit with them. We talk about everything. We sign autograph. It was so amazing. The whole city was happy. And when you come, you see each of the players' jersey in the houses of every Napolitans. You see the banner of me. You see the banner of Quara. You see the banner of Di Lorenzo, Frank. Everyone. You go to the city. You see it's unbelievable.
Unreal.
That's amazing.
For me, I used to say, I'm into 7 years of my career already, and I have really never seen a more passionate city of football like Napoli.
Right then, answer me this question. You've painted a beautiful picture there, Victor. You're end of your 3rd season. You end 33 years of hurt. You climb the Everest for Napoli. That's the one they wanted. Forget the Champions League. Winning the Scudetto was the one that all residents of Naples wanted to win. Luciano Spalletti then says, guys, I've stayed too long at the training ground. I've done what I set out to do. Be honest, Victor, did any part of you think in the summer, maybe I need to move on now? Maybe I've achieved all that I need to achieve at Napoli. Just how close did you come to leaving the football club in the summer?
I have to be honest, I never thought of it at first, because after the last season, before I traveled, I was still in Napoli. So I met with the people, with the people in charge. We spoke about everything, and they let me know that maybe they will not, let me go or something like that. But then when this offer came from the other clubs, it was amazing. And when the huge one came, it was tempting. It was a bit to refuse.
Which one is the huge one? I don't know about the huge one though. Which one is the huge one? I don't know about the huge one.
From the Saudi club.
There you go. You spelled it out.
It was a big one. And then I had I had a meeting with the society. We had close to 3 times meeting. I spoke about them, and we tried to see how we could go around it. And then finally, I spoke with the coach also. He spoke to me, and which he told me about the plans. And of course, I buy into the idea. So I was like, okay, I made up my mind personally to stick with the team and everything like that. So it was like it was not more like it happens overnight. It was something that we already spoke about it after the end of last season. We spoke about my future and everything. So I was trying to evaluate to try to see the options for me was best for my career, because if I'm to move on with my life, I have to to keep building on this momentum on just like what I said, and then also I have to keep on to step up my game and to be there. You understand? So for me, it's something that we have already discussed as at the end of last season. But of course, you never know what the future holds, and we'll see at the end of summer.
Can I ask, Victor, as a little boy growing up in Nigeria, what was the league that you enjoyed the most? John's told us that the Premier League in England is big in Nigeria, La Liga, Serie A. What was the league that you were brought up with? And there's been a lot of speculation on our YouTube channel about who you supported as a boy. Who was your boyhood team?
in the Premier League?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a team in the Premier League, but I usually put on two. I had two jerseys that I took from my brother, because I play football. I play grassroots football. I had a one with Chelsea, and I had a one with Man United.
Told you
when they had the Vodafone, the one with the Vodafone.
Okay.
I had the one
the one that John wore first as well, Victor. The one that John put on first, the club that he should have joined, and then he ended up at Chelsea.
So I used to, but I've got a lot of my friends are Chelsea fan. Few of them are Man United. But we watch in Nigeria, just like you said, everyone watch Premier League the most. So for me, it's something that we really enjoy watching every time. Most of the time we watch La Liga or we watch Serie A too. But the Premier League is something that is a unique one for every African country, because it's an exciting football they play there, and it's really very the intensity is really high there. So for me, it's something that is really huge in Africa.
Obviously, I want to be respectful to Napoli. Your future is there. I'm picking up two things. You had a big offer from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the summer. I wish I was getting a big offer.
I wish I did as well. I wish I did as well.
John. We could all be making money.
I wish I did as well. But I think when I look back at that time, when I heard about the rumors, my initial thought was, I know, obviously, where we're from, everything, the whole struggles and everything. But I just thought, okay. It's not like it's your first offer. You've been in Europe. You've done well for yourself. I was thinking, please, Victor, don't. I just think it's not the time to go, because I know you can achieve so much more.
And he said it. He wants to win the Champions League.
Exactly, and that's why I was happy that you didn't take the offer. I know it's crazy money. I know it's amazing money. It will change everything. Just 2 years of playing in Saudi will change everything for your life. You don't have to work anymore. Your kids don't have to work anymore.
Grandkids
don't have to work anymore. I know all that, but I just thought, I just hope he stays. I just hope he stays at Napoli, or maybe next season, which I know you're gonna come to Chelsea. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be the agent to broker that deal right now. So you are 100% coming to Chelsea next season. I'm going to make sure that deal happens, because we're crying out for someone like you. We're crying out for someone since the big man left. Obviously, Didier Drogba left the club. My teammate, we haven't had anybody with that figure, that stature, that personality, and someone who can score goals in big games, and somebody who we can depend on scoring goals. And I just feel like you are that person. You will fit right in at, what we need to achieve at the club, because we're crying out for someone who will get us goals. And I think that's what you will give us. So I personally think,
I hope. Wait.
Yeah. Saudi can wait. Give us 2-3 years at Chelsea or 4 years, and then maybe Saudi can happen. But yeah, Chelsea next season. I hope you come at the club. It's amazing. Obviously to live in London. We don't have the best weather, but everything else is amazing. Trust me. The club, people at the club, the training ground, everything is absolutely amazing.
You sound like the owner of the football club making a pitch to Victor. You pick whoever you want to pick, Victor. Come to Man United.
He's a Man United fan, that's what he said.
Come to Old Trafford, Victor, we need you. But in all seriousness, does the Premier League, and John's right, he is absolutely right. You know, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are doing wonderful things, but you've got many more years ahead of you. Do you want to stay in Europe for the foreseeable future, Victor?
Of course, I think what he said is true. And, I had this thought. It was, in August was that week was really a huge one, a huge decision for me to take. But I actually put everything in God's hand. And, the more I said no to these people, the more they increase it, the more they increase it. Yeah. So it was literally like, wow. So this is like for real, seeing these things. And then I spoke also with the people in charge, and we spoke about it.
That's
with
crazy.
My club and everything like that. And then we see what we could do, and then we decide me and them. And then I told them, listen, guy, I like these people. I will stay. And everything like that. For now, I don't think I want to leave for now. So then they understand where I'm coming from and everything like that. But they never gave up. They never gave up until the end of their own transfer window. Yeah. They never gave up. And but I said to them, even before we played the first game of the season, I said to them, for me, it's done. I really don't want to go back thinking. I really don't want to go back. Of course, it's a huge one, just like you said.
Yeah.
It's an amazing one that's going to change my life, even super, really amazing. You understand? But of course, I had to make the decision that is quite good for my career too. In as much as we play the football for money, there's some sort of honor that comes with it. So I had to just decide like that.
Before you came on, Victor, John was talking up the fact Didier Drogba. I was making some comparisons. Didier, Emmanuel Adebayor. When I watch you, I see a little bit of Emmanuel, and I was asking John about, does he see Didier in you? And I guess the greatest compliment that John gave you, Victor, is that he sees a little bit of Didier. There's a stature there. You're aggressive. You give defenders a headache from minute 1 to minute 90.
A little bit of arrogance.
Yeah, a little bit of that arrogance required as well, Victor. I mean, who did you look up to? Who do you model your game alongside and on?
Didier Drogba, I remember when I was still playing grassroots football. So we were done with the game, and I did well. And then there was a guy, he loves football a lot, and then he called me and said, "Do you know the kind of player you are playing like, or I think you're trying to become like?" I said, "No, I just played my game." He said, "Do you know Drogba?" I said, "Of course, everyone knows Drogba." And he said, "Go to YouTube, go to look into his comps, and then pick 1 or 2 things you can from his game that you think you lack. If you do this and you are dedicated about these things, I think you're gonna really be on top in a few years' time." This is like, if I'm not mistaken, like 20 something years ago. And then I told my brother about it, and then we used to use his phone to look at it. Then I saw that if I add this quality that he's good at into my game, I try to learn 1 or 2 things from his game, I think I can really come out on top, just like this guy advised. So every time I would use my brother's phone, or I go to this guy's house that advises me, I will use his laptop to watch the video. Then I go on the pitch, I try to learn 1 or 2 things and everything like that. And then I saw that I started to build in more and more confidence in looking at his game, the way he's aggressive, the way he has this eye for goal, and the way this killer instinct in the box is unbelievable, the way Drogba does this thing. And I'm still really like, really learning, because I think there are some sort of areas that I lack, in this type of situation. But Drogba comes out really big in this type of situation, and then me, I think I lack in this type of situation, and I'm still learning. Trust me, I'm still watching a lot of Drogba's comps, a lot of it. I'm still watching it, as well as some other amazing strikers. We've got some legends of strikers. We've got, so for me, it's really huge. And then at the World Cup, when they asked me, I said DJ Drogba, and then after like 3 days again, one of the guys showed me the tweet he made. I can't lie, it's still in my heart, acknowledging that. He said,
No. Tell him to
"Thank you
stop
so much."
tweeting about you. Don't worry about that. Tell him to stop tweeting about you. I got it. Don't worry about it. Tell him to back off. I know what he's trying to do. I know him. He's my friend. Don't worry about it.
So the highlight of everything is that last season he takes me on Instagram. You wake up seeing someone you admire so much, someone you idolize so much. Wake up and go on Instagram message and see DJ Drogba with a verified page. At first, I went on his page to see if he's the real one, and then I saw, wow, and I took a screenshot of it like 3 times, and then I replied, and the message was really inspiring and encouraging to me, and it was advising me to keep it up, that he's watching me, that he's rooting for me, and everything like that. I've got this motivation that I needed, and then seeing your idol text you, motivating you also, like it's a huge one for me. It's like a double motivation. So for me, I like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate.
Yeah.
I haven't met him in person. I think Senior Man is going to do
amazing
it for
guy.
Me to try to meet him in person.
No,
I need to meet him in person. I haven't met him in person yet.
Amazing guy. I think
so. I need to meet him.
I think when you meet him, I think both of you, I think you guys are gonna, the chemistry is gonna be good. You guys, like you said, there's a lot of similarities when you guys play, when you play as well. Amazing guy, top guy, a guy we depended on for so many years. Yeah. When it comes to big games, he was, for us, he was the guy. I mean, we had the likes of John Terry, Frank Lampard, obviously, 2 wonderful footballers. But then when it came to the big games, when the big games is the big game, there's one person, is Didier. And he knows that is his stage to shine. He always saves his whatever craziness or whatever he does for the big game. So, and he always, he always delivered. And I think you have everything, all the attributes, all that. When I see you, even your run and everything, the way you hold or play, it just screams Didier. So I just hope, you continue with that and, continue improving. Obviously, like you've said, getting to the top is one thing, but,
maintaining
it. We stayed there for a long time. I stayed at the top for 11, 12 years.
That's why, Chris, that's why that's why he's the most decorated. He, coach, that's why they are there. It's something people think is just to emulate the people that win trophies. No, but he has been there. He went there and he stayed there on top of his game. I never changes.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. There's a lot of distraction in this generation.
Yeah. And Victor, obviously African Cup of Nations is around the corner. How big of it, and finishing up very soon. How big is it for you as a proud Nigerian to pull on that Super Eagles jersey? But how massive would it be for you to follow in the footsteps of John Obi Mikel and his era and his teammates and win the African Cup of Nations for the country?
It's not going to be easy, but of course, I think he can also agree with us that in this current Super Eagles, we've got the talent, we've got what it takes to do so well. Putting the jersey of the Super Eagles is a privilege. It's not really our birthright. It's a privilege because we've got millions of players that could wear the jersey also and do even much, better than us. So we were just privileged to be called upon to represent the badge. But of course, the Nations Cup is coming up. It's a big task for us. It's a huge one. And then just like I say, it's not going to be easy. But of course, I think we've got the talent to do so well in this game as well as winning it. But just like you said earlier, the football, from the European football and African football, is a whole different kind of ball game. So I think we are ready. We've got 1 month before the start in January, and we're going to prepare so well, and then go there to give our all as well as winning it. But just like we said, it's not going to be easy. I've had the experience before. I got 4 or 5 minutes in 2019, and of course, it was not an easy one. He has been there. He has won it. So I think for us, for me personally, it's a big challenge, to try to emulate what he's done, because he's brought a lot of respect to the national team. He alone single-handedly lead us to the 2013 triumph. I watch him on TV, and the likes of Ahmed Musa and the rest of them. For us going there, I'm going there fully like a full Super Eagles player. For me, it's going to be a huge one, and I'm going to give my all, just like the rest of the team. We're going to complement each other to make sure we come out on top in this tournament.
How humble is he, John?
He's very humble.
I
told you, he's very humble. He's very humble.
Unbelievable.
But then when he steps on that pitch, this arrogancy that you need as a top striker, which he has. But when you see him, when he comes up to you, when he speaks to you, he's very humble. He's very respectful. But then when he goes on the pitch, I like that. He needs that to be able to perform. Of course. And he's got that.
Can I just say, Victor, forget following in the footsteps of Didier Drogba. It's Odi and Ighalo. You want to follow in the footsteps of Ighalo and come to Man United. That's my message, okay?
Ighalo is actually my big brother. I love him a lot. He's even in 2019, after when I go to Mikel, I speak with him, advice he sought me and Samuel and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then I will go to Ighalo also. We'll speak about a lot of things, how we started and everything like that. These people are motivation to me. And I tell you this, I will say it again, not because I'm here on live with you and him, not because I know Ighalo personally, but it's because of the love and respect I have for them, and I hold them on high esteem forever. For me, it's really a privilege. When he texts me to check up on me about the things that happen, I never believed it was him. Trust me, I never believed. I'm being honest. I never believed it was him. I told my family. I said, because everyone, Mikel is an household name in Nigeria in world football. So I said, hey, who just called me now? Like, who called me now? I said, I just spoke with Mikel on the phone. They were like, "Oh wow, what did he say? I said, "Yeah, he's encouraging me to." It's a privilege for me. I appreciate you 100%.
Thank you.
So about both of you, then we really have to see.
No, I mean I had to check up on him. I knew what was happening, and I know how difficult it is. When things like this happen in a football club, and also when he's becoming this household name, he's becoming this top striker that he's becoming. There's the things will come across whereby he has to deal with. And it was my. I just thought I was watching Sky Sports the other day, and I thought I saw it and I called somebody. I said, you know what, can you send me over Victor's number? I need to give him a call and to check up on him and see how he's doing, just to make sure he's fine. I did, and and we spoke about it, and he told me he was fine, and he appreciated my phone call, and I was so happy to know that that he was feeling really well, and I told him that this is things you have to go through. We all went through it. You need to become stronger. You need to stay strong. You need to show now to those people how much you want to grow and who you are. And he did.
Yeah,
he came on the next game. He scored a goal.
He did.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's and that shows.
That's it, Victor. Through all of this, you're a better person. You're stronger for it. What you've gone through.
Yeah. I think for each challenges that I've been through, I think I used to have my moments where I reminisce on these things. Just like when I reminisce on my game, whether I've got a good game or a bad game. Even in life, I used to sit and reminisce, because I look back then, few years back, in this type of situation, it could have been messy, even more messier. You know, I know what I could have done and everything like that. But then I started to grow. I started to learn. I started to even pray more, you know, for God to lead me and everything like that. I've got some amazing people around me that give me some candid advice and everything like that. So I think I'm still growing. I'm still young. You know, I'm on the right path, you know, and then I think I will keep on learning. And then the future is bright. So I just have to keep on growing and keep on learning from the people that have been there, such as him, you know, a big inspiration for me, you know, to try to move in their path, you know, in trying to get a better career and be a better man.
Absolutely. What a beautiful words as well. And listen, I wish you all the very best, Victor. You've got a big, you know, 8-9 months ahead, African Cup of Nations at the start of the year, and winning the Scudetto again under Rudy Garcia. Napoli can do it again this season.
I think so. The season is still young. We just started, and not so good thing going on. But I think the team is really focused. The coach knows what he's doing, and I'm in support of him also. And the team is well. Not so many injury aside from me. I'm hoping to come back soon to join the party because we've been doing quite well. So I just want to do so much for the team and try to see if we could win another trophy and get on with my life. And of course, I think the season is still young. We can actually do something really amazing, such as last season.
Of course, John, the message from us is remember us when you get that move to Saudi Arabia. Yes, remember us.
No, to Chelsea first. To Chelsea first.
Then maybe Man United and then cross over to the Kingdom, Victor. But all jokes aside, it's been an absolute pleasure, hasn't it, John, to have this young man, a man with a massive future in the game.
Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing. I mean, thank you so much. You know, it's been amazing, and I hope you quick recovery, and I hope you recover as quickly as possible to join the party, like you said. And I'm wishing you and the national team as well, Nigeria, all the best in the tournament. I think I will be there also to see, hopefully, to watch the games and to support you guys. So.
And I guess the last one, Victor, to all the kind of Napoli fans, to the Nigeria fans who have supported you, what would your message be to anyone who's supported you throughout your career?
Personally, for me, I owe a lot that I've achieved in my career so far to the ones that wholeheartedly support me. Even the ones that I know and the ones that I don't know, I always appreciate them. I always put them in my prayers because some of them might be going through some kind of situation, and then they still find chance to watch my game, to support me, to defend me, and everything like that. I hold them on high esteem, and I want to say thank you very much for the love, for the support, for the motivation you guys have given me in times of solace and triumph. Also, I appreciate everything, and it means a lot to me. And keep supporting me. I will continue to make you guys proud. I appreciate you all, and God bless you all.
Beautiful words.
There you go.
Victor James Osimhen. I've said that right?
Osimhen.
Yeah. Osimhen. And I'm loving the James as a middle name as well. Victor, what a man. What an absolute pleasure it has been to have you on the Obi One podcast, made possible by Bet Winner.
It's a pleasure.
Don't be a stranger, my friend, and the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sinoma. Thank you very much.
Good luck, huh? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Bye.
What a top gentleman. I tell you what, John. Yeah. He was far. You know, obviously, I don't know the boy. Yeah. You do. You told me, and we can say this on the podcast. You said to me, Chris, you're going to love this guy. I'll love him more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Because, and it is amazing, and you said it, you can have a view of someone from the way they are on the football pitch.
Yeah.
But he's top.
Yeah, he's top. He's what it is. What you see is what you get. He spoke really well about everything else.
Chelsea and a Man United fan.
Yeah.
He's a bit like you.
Yeah.
In that regard. I want to say as well, but you know what I've realised, John? No. It's taken me episode 3 to realise that you're a bloody legend. He was bowing down to you. Do I need to bow down to you every time you walk into the studio?
No, you're not.
But they love you.
No, I mean, listen, like I said, listen, it comes with what I've...
You're embarrassed now, aren't you?
What I've done, what I've achieved, and it's it's just what it is. They
Respect. It's a respect thing.
respect. Yeah, the kids from national team. I earned a lot of respect from the national team. A lot.
And so you should.
People watching you growing up, how you conducted yourself playing as a football player on and off the football pitch, and the things you do as well now after retiring. These guys, they watch you day in, day out, and the more you keep setting those standards and make sure you keep yourself on the highest level,
you've done that.
They will not forget that. And
Absolutely.
They will keep watching you and keep trying to see what you do day in, day out.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Chris McHardy and the legend that I've just realised is with us every single week, for goodness sake. Episode 3, it's another long one.
Oh, it's amazing.
We do keep these guys a long time. Fascinating insight from a player that has still got an awful lot more potential, and he's got an awful lot more to achieve in the game of football. That is it for another episode, John. Can't believe it. We've made it to episode 3.
We have.
JT, Frank Lampard, Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen.
I mean, I don't know, that contact book of yours better be a big one, because we're running out of contacts.
We have to keep going. We have to keep pushing the boundaries. Obviously,
and you're doing that.
Hopefully next guest we have should be in the house, and then
in the house, as in here.
In the house, yeah. Hopefully we can get that in, and then we have to keep pushing the boundaries with the phone booth, and maybe we can get Victor Osimhen's idol. Next. So
watch the space. Right. The Obi One Podcast, made possible by Bet Winner, we say, and we thank them every single week. Available to download, subscribe, give us a rating. We're on all the usual podcasts platforms, and of course we're on YouTube as well. Episode 3, Johnny Boy.
5 stars, please.
In the
Come
can.
on. Yeah.
Well done, Johnny Boy.
Subscribe. We're here. Thank you,
Bet Winners. Moving.
We're here.
Thank you so much. Right, we're back with you with another big name, another edition up soon. Thanks, guys.
Winning has always been my driving force. Growing up, I dreamt of playing for the Nigerian national team. My passion led me there. The support and unity of players and Nigerian fans led us to the final. Together, we won the African Cup of Nations. A moment that will forever be carved in my heart. Join the winning team with Bet Winner.